Facebook, it's 5 p.m. UK and it's 9 a.m. in Pacific. Hello, Lynda.
Hello, Stephen. How are you doing this happy New Year?
Oh, well, Happy New Year to yourself as well. I'm doing good. Today's been dusting the cobwebs off because I didn't broadcast for 2 weeks. So I was live with the team for Blubbing for Britain this morning and just been live with Cheryl and now live with you. So third show in a day. I'm still here, so my voice is still working. All right.
That's
How
good.
is your new year started?
Oh, well, my New Year started off. I've been sick for the last 4 or 5 days. But that I'm not going to let that get me down, of course. But, it's
No.
interesting because New Year's Eve, I was like, what am I going to do New Year's Eve? My husband and I ended up watching an Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And that was a lot of fun. We don't really do anything for New Year's Eve. I haven't for decades because too many drunks out there. Too crazy, too crazy. I'm
I
not young
did.
anymore either.
It does get crazy. I mean, we went into town and had a meal, but we were back home for 10 o'clock. So
There you go. There you
the,
go.
day, the days of singing the New Year at a disco, that's a strange word, isn't it? Are gone.
So,
And we say hello to Elaine, and Elaine's
hi,
wishing
Elaine.
both of us Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Elaine.
Yes,
Uh,
Happy New Year.
wish
Hey,
you a
I have a
happy
question, Stephen.
fire
Right,
away, Linda.
right behind you, is it a painting? It's got like you have one in a frame and one out of the frame. The one out of the frame, what is that?
The one out of the frame
That's cool.
is the original. We are twinned with a town in Germany called Weimlingen, and every year, well, when we go over there to visit and stay with people over there, they give a gift. And this was specially made to represent the town of Weimlingen by a local artist. So
Hmm.
I have one of only several copies in the
Wow.
world. So I thought I'll display it on the wall.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, was that
so
there before and I just didn't notice?
it could be because of the lighting that you now notice it more than you did before.
Okay, that's so nice of you.
Well, no, it's probably true as well because RJ and Brigetti said that the lighting was good now, so I know presumably it was pretty bad before. So
Well,
we
it's
got
funny too. This actually, because for those who do live videos, and those who are doing them correctly, is I spend my time staring at the camera, so I don't look at my computer screen, so I don't really see you, and I don't see your background. So when I asked that question, this morning when I got on here, we were on here for a couple of minutes before we went live, and I was looking at that. I was like, "That's a really cool painting. I've never noticed it before." So, good morning, Karen.
excellent.
Good to see you.
Happy New Year, Corinda, and we look forward to seeing you as a guest at some point next week,
Yes,
which we'll
awesome.
talk about shortly. Um, right, okay. I think I have a good place to start,
Oh,
and
cool.
that's here. And would you like to talk
Yes.
about what's happening next Tuesday?
Oh my God, it's so exciting, Stephen. I had this dream almost 2 years ago that I was going to have my own talk show someday. Originally, though, my dream was to be on a talk show, like be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. That was my original dream. And I was like, wait a minute, why do I want to be on a show? Why don't I just create my own show? And so I had that idea and I bought the domain name tacotuesday.tv and just let it sit there. Well, what happened was about, I guess, 6 months ago or so now, you and I started kind of chatting, and I found out that you do production of shows, and I reached out to Stephen. And I was like, Stephen, will you produce a show for me called Taco Tuesday? And he said yes, and
Yes.
that had to put it all into motion. Now I had to start taking the action to actually make it happen. And so we did auditioned, I think, a total of 14 people to be on the
Mhm.
show. Our finalists were, we had not finalists, I'm sorry, our final two were Anita and Mary. They're the co-hosts of the show. And the actual show, because we did auditions last year, the actual show starts on Tuesday, January 8th, 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. UK time. I'm so excited because our first topic is going to be near-death experiences. Now, if you want, I can, as we go through this show today, go ahead and list some of the topics that we have coming up, because we'd
Surely.
love to have any of our viewers go ahead and apply to be a guest on the show. We'll be looking for 2 to 3 guests on each show. It runs 12 weeks, and we have a whole list of different topics that you can participate in. So I'll go ahead and share that with everybody. I got to find it, so I'll share that with everybody in just a second here. But I'm so excited, Stephen. It's happening. It's happening.
It is for real. Season 1 is on the way. 12 shows with your 2 co-hosts, and we've been fortunate to meet so many different people since we started back in November. And they've become friends, which is the absolute brilliant thing about doing live videos, that people do become your friends. And looking forward to the show with yourself and Anita and Mary, who actually won through to the final and then won the final itself, and your guests next week. And there's 12 weeks to fill. You've got topics for all of them, but as you said, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, then we'll put a link up later, and you're more than welcome to join Lynda and Anita and Mary.
Yeah, it's just really going to be really great. And one thing that's also cool is I had an epiphany, because sometimes the show is done during my mastermind. I lead a mastermind once a month on a Tuesday, which is really dumb that I did that, but whatever, it works. So it's a Tuesday all day long, and so Taco Tuesday is actually right in the middle of my mastermind. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know it, but I'm building my studio audience right now by having people attend my mastermind. So on January 22nd is the date of my mastermind. On the show, we're going to have a Holocaust survivor, and she's going to be in person with me at the mastermind. So what we're going to do that day, I'm going to try it out for the first time, see how it works. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that people in my mastermind are our background studio audience. We'll still have Anita and Mary on the show, but I will be in person with a guest, with my studio audience in the background. And I'm excited to test that out to see what that's like. So we'll see. Woo.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be very cool. Okay, so we'll come back to the topics that are going to be discussed during the 12-week season in a moment. But I want to take that picture away and replace it with another one, which is this one, because this starts next Monday, 7th of January through to the 11th. And as you can see, myself and Lynda and Brigetti and Cheryl and RJ. I've got a second page as well, I think. There you are.
There we go.
And Lottie and Annie Mora and David Burrows and Tina Vallant and Angeline will be joining us as co-hosts during 5 days of live video training. If you've wondered how to get the most from your shows, then join us at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK, Monday through Friday next week, when we talk about a variety of topics which will help you with your live broadcasts. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Really good trainings there, because doing live videos, there's a lot of different elements to it, and it's good to learn from different people, because different people have different perspectives. I'll share just really quickly like what I mean by that. I'm the type of person who the people that I help is people who have fears of starting things, or of just doing it. That's what this show is perfect, because I help people break through their fears. And so I was chatting with a gentleman I know who also does video training, live video and pre-recorded trainings. And I said, you know what, just get out there, just do it, do it messed up, whatever, just do it kind of thing. And he's like, no, you got to practice it first. And so the point I'm making here is that you're going to hear different perspectives from different people, and that's why this is a good.
It's practical experience. It's not theory. We've actually done it. We've walked the walk, and now we're talking about it. And the beautiful thing about the group of 10 is that we all get on, we all understand each other, and we can sort of get together, we can talk about a topic, and we can actually explain it to you and give you pointers and takeaways that you can actually act upon once you've watched the show.
Exactly.
We are so looking forward to it, and we'd love to see you at 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday next week. That's for 5 days live, and it's coming to Facebook, via BeLive.tv, and Well,
It's gonna
I
be
mean,
great.
this weekend, I have got to just do it because
Uh-huh.
at the moment, we are a well-kept secret. So 5 days live has got to be promoted this weekend, and I'm going to do that from Friday, boosted post on Friday, another boosted post on Sunday, Monday, and then we get off to a good start on the Monday with yourself and Cheryl and me. So
Yes.
that's the three of us on the first show. So that will be heavily promoted over the weekend. And
Yeah.
if you see 5 days live anywhere on Facebook, just please like it and share it. That would help us, and we'd be forever grateful in
Yeah,
doing
because
that.
sharing something like that, definitely it's going to help other people. So you might have somebody who who might be interested in doing live videos, but maybe they're a little bit timid because they're not really sure how to get started, what they're going to talk about. There's so many different things you can do with live video. So by watching us for that 1 week, they'll have an opportunity to learn how to do some of the things they can do. And it's not to overwhelm people, but it's to encourage people to do live videos, because the value of doing live videos, it's exponential. It really is. I'm doing so many things today that I never would have been doing had I not done my first live video, which has led to 2,800 live videos. So doing this, it's like you're not going to be good at it if you don't do it. So you might as well just get started. Have your first time be your suckiest time. Just get out there and do it, though. You just got to do it.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
serious.
I totally agree. We're totally on the same page on this, because you've actually got to do your first live. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what happens. Doesn't matter who's in the audience. Just do your first live, enjoy it, and then go on to your second, third. Once you got to your 30th, you think, well, why was I so frightened on the first one?
Mhm.
So just do it. In 2019 is the best time to go live. There are lots of systems out there to help you. Be Live TV, StreamYard, and of course Lightstream, and possibly others will be on their way too. You can stream on Facebook, you can stream on Twitch or YouTube or Periscope. So
Yeah.
you're spoiled for choice, and all you need, what can we talk a minute about what you actually need to do a live broadcast?
Yeah.
What would you recommend people do?
Well, for me, again, my whole mission is to get people to just break through those fears. So to me, what you need is a cell phone. That's it. You don't need anything fancy. If you want to get a little bit fancy, I actually use an earbud. I use this to do my live videos. I'm using it right now just as an earbud, because I'm using my microphone here. But the microphone right here, it's right next to your mouth. You know what's cool about this, Stephen? I discovered this. I tested it out. I test a lot of things out. And
Okay.
so what I did is I've used my earbud with a microphone on there. And I was in a bar one time attending a networking event. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk around, because I'm not very comfortable meeting new people. I'm actually kind of shy when it comes to, meeting new people. And so one way I've helped myself to come out of that shyness is to walk up and interview people. So I'm introducing them to my audience is what I'm doing. So it's, for me, it's like I'm promoting them. And so
Yep.
it's an easy way for me to introduce myself to people. So I use it as a crutch. Actually, I use live video as a crutch. But walking around with my selfie stick, I had my earbud, plugged into my phone, and I was doing this video. So I went and listened to it later. You could hear me clear as a bell because I
Mm-hmm.
was using this little tinky microphone, on my earbud. And the person I was interviewing, you could hear them too. So I didn't even let sound, like people oftentimes will say, well, it's too noisy where I am. No, it's not. That's just another reason to not do it, is all you're just making up a reason why you shouldn't do it. So do it. Just get out there, do it, try it. If it doesn't go well, that's okay. That's okay. People will really love the fact that you're human and you make mistakes, because that makes them realize that, oh, she did it, I can do it too. And so
Exactly.
it's so amazing how forgiving most people are, because there are some people who
Well,
will make fun of you if you make mistakes, but most people will support you more when you make mistakes. I found that out when I started intentionally making mistakes, because
uh-huh.
I had perfection syndrome. I was a proofreader for 25 years with the court system. And so I had to be perfect. It was required on my job. And so when I wanted to break that perfection syndrome, I would intentionally make mistakes. And I noticed that people would actually, reach out to me and support me, not ridicule me or belittle me. And so it's cool when we are just ourselves.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play a part if you like, and you could play that part, but at some point you're actually going to drop your guard and be yourself. So why not start off being yourself in the first place? And as you said, people are very supportive, extremely supportive, especially on live video.
Yeah.
If everything goes right in a show, then, well, it just doesn't go right every time in the show. Something is going to go wrong. People will support you. And the more shows you do, the more support you will get. And it's as simple as that. And enjoy it. I mean, the most wonderful thing about live video is actually meeting people, meeting new people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's why I love interviewing people, because I do a lot of interviews. I don't do as many solo videos as I do interview style.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I'm nosy. Bottom line. I'm so curious. I want to learn about people and how they got to where they are and what steps they took along the way, what fears did they have to break through and stuff. Yeah. And because it really helps me to see, that who I am here on this planet is important too. Like I didn't ever see myself as having any value. And now, by interviewing all these different people, it really has helped me to believe more in myself, I guess is kind of the best way for me to put it. And I love interviewing people. It's a great way to share them with your audience, but also to have you have an opportunity to see their audience as well, for their audience to see you.
Totally. Helping people tell their stories. And the thing is that you, as an interviewer, there's a skill to it. And I enjoy watching your shows because it's not, you don't never ask questions which just give a yes or no answer, because that goes nowhere. What you actually got to do is to cajole or get the person you're interviewing in the right frame of mind, so they're actually going to talk about and tell their stories. And if you do a bit of research first, if you're going to interview somebody, you've got to know something about them, haven't you?
Well, actually, I don't. And it's interesting because I prefer to have it be like a first encounter. Some of the people I interview, like I'm interviewing a gentleman named Dave Austin next week. Really excited to interview him. He's actually the brother of, what's his name? Steve Austin, the $1 Million Man, from the TV show back in the 70s. Right. Yeah. But he's a professional athlete. He was a professional athlete. And so that's all I really know about him. No, but actually I met him a couple of times and I just love his energy. So I'm interviewing him. So I do know about him. But most people, I don't even know anything about them before I start that conversation, which I think is probably part of the way that makes my interviews a little bit different, is I haven't done any research. I don't know who you are. I don't have you on a pedestal because I don't know who you are. And so I just go into it as, you're a human being. I'm a human being and I'm asking you questions. And then it leads to my curiosity that gets sparked to ask more questions. And oftentimes, and this is something I've realized this is a skill I have, but it's not a skill I've perfected. It's a skill that I might have been born with. And I just am discovering that is, most of the time when I'm done with an interview, especially my in-person interviews, I hear, that was a great interview. Thank you so much. It's cool because it's been from, whether it's movie stars or professional athletes, they all say it. And it's been awesome because that tells me that not everybody's interviewing that way. And so imagine if I actually perfect it. I mean, when I perfect it, like it's intentional,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But do you start off with several questions to ask them?
No, I don't. And it's interesting. I'm going to be on the red carpet. I'm so excited because I was on the red carpet of the Academy Awards after party last year for the first time. And when I did that, oh, wow, it was crazy because I was so scared to ask first. So I asked and they said yes. And I was like, oh my God, we're actually going to be on the red carpet.
Yeah.
And then we got there and I was scared and I staked my claim, because what you need to do is you need to go in there, like stake your claim. And then what happened was, because it was my first time, I didn't know what I was doing, people took over my claim.
Right.
This year, I'm going in. I'm not letting anybody take over my claim, So
Right.
my point is that I did something that was very, very scary for me the first time. But as I got into it and as I started conducting the interviews, like when the first one came by, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to ask them? I don't know this person. I don't know if they're a movie star. I don't know if they're an athlete. I don't know anything about them. And so what questions am I going to ask them? And I just the first question, I don't know, was probably something like, why don't you let everybody know who you are? Like that. And that way I can get to know who they are too, I make it sound like I already know, but I don't have any idea. Done no research on any of the people there on the red carpet. So this time going on the red carpet, I have confidence because I've done it already.
Right.
By the end of the night, because I think I interviewed people for about 3.5 or 4 hours. By the end of the night, I was so comfortable being on that red carpet that it felt like it's something I'm supposed to do all the time. So now I expect it. And so I reached out to them this time. I said, hey, I'll be on the red carpet. And they're like, okay. So it was just like a totally different type of attitude. Yeah. It's so fun. Oh my gosh.
I look forward to watching the interviews.
Thank you.
Wow.
Awesome. I have no idea who I'm going to interview.
Where do we go from there? How do you top that?
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's easy. There's all kinds of things that'll top that.
Right.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about Taco Tuesday, because I pulled up the so the link. So if you can post this, if you can post the link is livinglive.tv/TOT guest. So TOT is Taco Tuesday. So what we have, some of the topics that we have coming up are broadening the boundaries. So beliefs no longer have to be limited. So we're going to talk about limiting beliefs and how you can break through those unlimiting beliefs, because they really, really do, limit you as to what you can do. It is limitless what you can do. So we're going to talk about all of that. And then another topic that we have is understanding the bully. We're talking about hurt people versus heart people. So understanding the bully, and that's going to be a really great topic. If any of these topics are topics that you can talk about, you're an expert in, that you can help our audience be able to work through these type of situations, we want to hear from you. We'd love you to apply to be a guest on the show. And again, it's livinglive.tv/TOT guest. One of our other topics is called Love Me or Leave Me. Is love unconditional versus conditional? And then another one is going to be talking about the heart. So that'll be around Valentine's Day. Heart living. So it's HEART-Y living. So bringing the heart to super life. And then March 5th, we're talking about concussions. We're calling it concussion discussion. So we'll be talking about TBI and concussions. And then March 12th, we'll be talking about badass branding. So if you're a branding expert, we want to hear from you. We love to see if we be able to have you as a guest on the show. And then March 19th, which is my birthday. Yeah. We're talking about Mission Possible, birthing a powerful mission. And then the last one, March 26th, this is the one that really excites me the absolute most, Stephen, because this is something that I'm seeing a lot of. And just to bring this and share these people with the world is so amazing. Kidpreneurs who are changing the world. I know in the space that I'm in currently, I'm surrounded by so many young people under the age of 10, under 10, who are starting their own businesses. And I'm so excited to share them with our audience.
Indeed. I mean, there are no rules anymore.
No
age barriers. I mean, you can literally, if you're in the right place, the right time, with good quality, then content, then you can make money. And with people under 10, the age of 10, actually making money from YouTube and from live video in general, and
lots of money.
Video.
Lots of money. Well, actually, I know this young girl. Her name is Neva Rekla, and she started her first business at age 2. And By the time she was
Mhm.
age 5, I think she had 4 businesses by the time she was age 5. Now,
Right.
we know that the child didn't go and start the business, right? The child had the idea. She
Uh-huh.
shared the idea with her parents at 2 years old, was able to talk enough that she was able to share an idea she had. And her parents, of course, encouraged her then to, well, why don't you do something about it? And so she started her first business. And now I think she's 9 now. She might be 10,
Mhm.
but she speaks all over the world. Like on stages. She's been doing it
Yeah.
since she was a child. And so that's just one example. And I'm hoping she'll be available for our show. But then, Caleb Maddox, I mean, he's an influencer to the max. He's a young boy whose father has really encouraged him to get himself out there. We have the millionaire, what's it called? The millionaire. Oh, I can't remember his name right now. But then there's the kidpreneur
Mhm.
mentor or something like that. We just have all these kids that have these ideas and they're putting them into
Yeah.
action. But the parents are the ones who really make the difference because they actually let their kids do this. Because
Mm.
oftentimes, when I was a kid, I had a lot of ideas, but they were more like, well, you can't do that. You're too young. And, so often parents will not allow their kids to soar because they think they're too young. But I'm hoping that by bringing these kidpreneurs on, that parents will see how they can support their kids and
Mm.
their ideas. And you know what? It's like we're the ones who put those limiting beliefs on our kids by saying things like that. So next thing you know, the kid doesn't try anymore. The kid doesn't have as many ideas. They don't share their ideas anymore. But when we see that our kids have an ability, and then we just like say, well, go and do it. Go ahead
Yep.
and do it.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed
Totally
at what
agree.
they'll do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
excited.
a child's imagination is fantastic, and we tend to lose it as we grow older. So that's a
Yeah.
good time to actually capture those ideas and move forward with them. And if you
Yeah.
are a supportive parent, it helps. I think people watching the show will think, they'll have some moments where they think, I could do that, which would be absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Exactly.
good.
That's what I'm hoping. The show, Taco Tuesday. We start January 8th. We run 12 weeks, and I'm just super excited to get it going and having this part of my dream, turn into a reality. And we all dream, but
We
we
do.
have to take action in order to turn the dream into reality. Why keep dreaming? Have it become your reality.
In other words, just do it.
Just do it. Exactly.
We should commission somebody, or perhaps we could do it in house to actually write a theme song.
Oh, there we go. Not me.
All right, I was just being, yeah, okay.
I can play bass guitar, but that's about it. I don't write music or anything.
Oh,
We don't. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not musical, not at all. I wish I was. It's one of the things. I wish I could do two things. I wish I could play music and paint, and I can't do
Okay.
either of those. But put me in front of Lumen 5 or a video camera, then I'm good. I'm good.
That's an
Uh,
amazing skill. Lumen 5. Why don't you share with everybody what that is? Because I've I've heard it, I've dabbled with it, and then I let it go. I'm not sure if it was because it was too hard. It wasn't too hard, right? It's
no, it
pretty
wasn't. It wasn't too
simple.
hard. It's just, it's like anything. You've just got, well, in general with software. If you use software and you like it straight away and you fall in love with it, then you put the time in. If you go to a piece of software and it's difficult to get into, yeah, which is possibly true of Lumen 5,
Mm.
then you think twice, especially if you've already got something, if you're already creating content and you don't actually need it. I mean, the thing about Lumen 5 is what you're doing is you write a script, so that's the text, you then put some images together, the images go with the text, and then you underscore that with music, which you take from Lumen 5 library, and you've got a short 30-second to 2-minute video, and I've used it quite a few times in 2018 when I was actually putting together promotional materials for the live video.
Oh,
So that's how I did it, and it's just the most difficult part is actually writing the words.
Yeah.
because you've got to get the right words. That's the creative bit as far as the brain's concerned. The rest of it is artistic because you're just deciding in what order things go and which photograph should go where. But it's good fun. But the problem is that there was an AppSumo deal last year which gave you access. I think it gave you access for a year to Lumen 5 for free.
Oh.
Now I know quite a few people took that up, but it's coming to decision time in the first 6 months this year. Do you actually continue with Lumen 5? Because you're going to go from free to $79 a month. Now there's a bit of
that's
a
a big
difference.
jump. Yeah.
That's right. So I might be wrong on the figures, so please check first. But it did look expensive, and I'm sure there are alternatives out there which would do the same. But I've had great value using Lumen 5 to create videos over the last year, and of course at the end of every video is an advertisement for Lumen 5. So they have gained in terms of exposure in that way, in that everybody who's watched the videos, and there have been thousands of people watch the videos, will actually have seen the closing screen, which is an advert for Lumen 5. That's fair.
Yeah, definitely, because you gotta, you're getting something for free, you might as well allow them to advertise.
We've all got to make some money somewhere, somehow. And it is good software, and if it was free, I'll use it forever and promote it forever. As it's not free, I'm going to decide what to do when it gets the month before.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Good.
That's if it went up to $29 a month for those who would use it for free for the first year or whatever, like let's step you up a little bit, and then maybe next year 39 or something. But to go straight from 0 to 79, that's quite a jump.
It is. I mean, it's $1,000 a year. $1,000 a year, which you think twice about. Especially as I say, I've probably used it between 8 and 10 times during the year. And we say hello to Abigail, who's joined us.
Hello.
And hello, and Happy New Year to you. And
yes.
Thank you for joining us today. Now, what have you missed? Okay. This, of course, is Just Do It with Lynda and Stephen. Lynda has talked about Talker Tuesday, which starts next week at 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. in the UK, which is 3 p.m. Eastern. So that's next Tuesday.
We're talking about near-death experiences.
The show next Tuesday, just to bring that up on screen.
Yes. It's going to be a great show.
Right. So near-death experiences. Lynda's hosting with Anita and with Mary. And your guests.
Yes.
You spoke to them before?
I actually have interviewed Scarlett and David before on my show, Living Live, and their story is just so enthralling. And I'm so glad that they're available to be on this show. And then Marcus, I've never spoken with him, so I'm interested to hear his story. But his near-death experience is recent, and so he really wanted to share, what happened to him, and especially since it's recent in his mind, it'll be very fresh, and he'll be able to talk about that. But he's here to talk about it, which is awesome. Yeah, Scarlett and David. I'll just share briefly what happened. Was David was in a coma, and he almost died, and Scarlett was asked to pray for him, and she ended up coming back. I don't want to give it away. Gosh. You're going to have to watch. I do not want to give it away because it's an amazing story. And it's like, what? It's one of those amazing stories that you're like, what? I don't believe this. But when they tell the story, you're going to believe it. So that's all I can tell you. I got to tease on that one because I don't want to give it away and I don't want to tell it wrong.
No, you're allowed to tease.
That's a great story.
Come and watch next Tuesday.
Yes.
So Talker Tuesday is next Tuesday, obviously. And 5 days live, featuring Lynda and myself, actually starts on Monday, and it's at 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and it features Lynda and I. Brigetti,
that was at 10 a.m. Eastern.
10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK. Thank you.
Yes,
that's my deliberate mistake for today. Thanks for catching.
Awesome.
That's what teamwork's all about.
Good job.
So that's 5 days live. Myself, Lynda, Brigetti, RJ, Cheryl, and you'll find Lynda, Cheryl, and I will be live on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK, and you can follow the whole week just from there.
Yeah, so it's exciting because we're going to be talking about how to start your own talk show and how this whole process came about. And I'm really excited to talk about it, and especially the audition process for mine, since I used co-host. I'll be talking about the audition process as well. So it's going to be a different show. And actually, Cheryl was one of the contestants. So excited to be doing another show with her.
And it's going to be good. It's going to be so good. Now,
yes.
I just want to put a logo on the screen for a moment.
Okay.
I can't say too much about it. It's called the Live Video Squad. It does have its own Facebook page, which everybody's free to go and like.
Okay.
And it's got its own website. What it doesn't have is what it does. And that's my teaser, because I'll be releasing the Live Video Squad into the wild sometime in February. So I just want you to remember.
That's your thing?
Oh. Yep. In fact, that's my design.
I just liked it.
Thank
you.
I
just liked your page.
Brilliant.
Cool.
So that's coming up.
The design, it wasn't showing up all the way. Like, can you lift it up? It was cutting off, or maybe that's just what I see on my screen. That? I'm not sure. Yeah. So the word squad is cut off.
Right. Okay. I think that's just your screen. I think it's center screen. It's a feature, if you like, that it's not showing full screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but you gave me a chance to actually put it full screen there. So I quite enjoyed creating that, and I did that with Canva.
Oh, cool! How'd you get the little camera? Did you?
All right.
That
No, I can't claim credit for that. Within Canva, you're given images that you can just use. And I was given the camera, and then when I was working on it, I put the two yellow features on the camera reel at the top, and it sort of goes together with the gold of the Live Video Squad. Yeah,
that's cool.
So,
I am excited to see what the heck that's all about, Stephen.
Oh, it's about live video, and well, I can give you an overview. It's about live video broadcasters who provide training, help, and support, charge of training, help, and support, getting together with people who want to broadcast.
Oh.
So it's a marketplace, it's a help place, it's people getting together, it's people co-hosting shows, it's a whole range of things. But the idea is to create a marketplace for everybody who has skills for hire. So that's the sort of brief. That's brief, and I'm just fleshing that out at the moment. And Abigail is confirming that
she can see it.
She can see it, so that's good. It gives me another opportunity to bring it up on screen again.
Yes. Go like the page, Live Video Squad on Facebook. I just liked it.
Brilliant. Well, the thing is, thank you for that. That's very important.
You're welcome.
Should explain why. You've got to get a certain number of likes on the page before you can create a group. Now, the Facebook group is going to be an integral part of the whole experience. So that's why. That's why it's important to get the likes and get the page off to a flying start. So I'll be mentioning that.
So when you create a group, so you mean, so the group, you have it connected to your page?
Correct. And then the page can become a member of the group. Yeah. So you can then either post as yourself or as the page. You can share as yourself or you can share as the page. And once you've got the group, and what I discovered, we've got the Belivers group, and the Belivers group is quite a large group, and it's very difficult to have a conversation in there. It's difficult to have a conversation in any group of any size because you're in the middle of everybody else.
Yeah.
So now Facebook have integrated chat into the groups, and when Belive said we're going to be broadcasting on Twitch, I started a Twitch chat. Now you can't see it within the Belivers group, but if you go to the Twitch section, you can actually discuss Twitch with 30 different people who are interested in Twitch, and it doesn't affect the main BeLive feed. Yeah, so you can have sidebar conversations. And I started a sidebar conversation today, which is for people who are new to BeLive, so that rather than asking the same questions that people have been asking for 2 years, they can go into a private, obviously semi-private chat, which anybody can join, and they can ask the questions there and also get access to resources. So back to where I was. Yeah, creating the page, create the group directly from the page. You can become a member as the group as well as yourself, and there are a whole range of benefits which Facebook are building on. And in that respect, it's going to be an exciting 2019 as far as groups are concerned. So,
okay, that's cool. So I wasn't sure what the benefit was to actually, because somebody I know who is an expert in all this stuff said, do not attach your groups to your page. But so you're saying to attach your group to your page. Okay.
That's the same question of two people, and you basically, yeah, I can't see any real negatives, because when you're in the group and you can post as yourself, it says as yourself, top left-hand corner, so you know whether you're posting as yourself or the page. If you're in there as yourself, then nothing's changed. But if down the road Facebook give us additional features, yeah, it's just
interesting. Because interesting too is what I'm wondering is, does the group also show up on your page? So people would see that, oh, this group is connected to this page is connected to this group. You know what I mean? I wonder.
They would see this page is connected to this group, and this group is connected to this page. Works both ways, because your page will show in the group itself down the right hand side. Right. The other reason I discovered today, because Facebook have only just released this, is that we create a BeLive broadcast, and the one I'm going to do after this show will go to the Living Live page. Yeah. Okay, as normal. So it goes to Facebook. We've got a Facebook post for next Tuesday's show at 12 p.m. Pacific. Yep. 5 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. in the UK. Right, I got there. But basically, you can go and edit the post now, and there's a new feature, and it only appeared this morning, and you can say, add a button which says join my group. Yeah. So that when the broadcast goes out, as we're doing now, at the top of the post will be a button which says join my group. So every single broadcast you do, without having to do anything extra special, you can say, right, if you want to know more, join my group, press the button. There you go.
That's cool.
It's way cool. And we say hello to you're a good man, Kelly. Kelly's awesome, just like the live video squad too. Thank you.
Awesome. Then Abigail wanted you to share the link so she can like it.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah, just make it easier for her to find it. So that's cool. So you're getting up there. You got 7 now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll get up there.
I remember the first time I created a group, and I was wondering if anybody would join, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this group I have right now is called, oh my gosh, what's it called? Experiential Women's Group Mastermind. So it is for women only. But that one, like, I'm being very particular. I don't want that one to grow big. I want that one to remain small. And I want it to be a group where the women all feel like they know each other, you know. And so I'm being very selective of who I allow in that group. When I did my first group, I was like, I want hundreds and hundreds of people. I want thousands of people. And because it was just about me doing it, I think, and just having a group that had a lot of numbers. But now I'm like, in this particular group, I'm very selective. So it's been kind of cool to make that shift, you know?
Yeah.
I still want a big group, but just not that one. That group won't be a big one.
Well, we start and build groups for purposes. And if it fits the purpose, then it's not about numbers.
Right.
Always. It's about relationships, isn't it? It's about getting to know people. It's about talking one-to-one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I thank you for the reminders, Abigail and Lynda. There's the link to the live video squad.
Awesome.
Definitely. Just do it.
Yeah, it's
You say.
it is interesting as we talk about relationships, because one good relationship can do so much more for you and the other person than like being in a crowd of 10,000 where you don't have any relationships, because it's like a lot of noise, right? So I really believe in, building relationships one at a time. And I'll share with you one of the things I do, Stephen. I don't know if you do this too, but
Okay.
one of the things I love to do to create new relationships is I have a couple of groups that I belong to. Like, let's say maybe I belong to too many. First of all, start with that, because I'm in the process of removing myself from a lot of groups. Because when I first started, with groups, I thought I had to belong to a whole bunch of groups. I just thought that was the way it was. So now, though, what I do is I have a couple select few, maybe 5 different groups that I'm in on a regular basis. And what I'll do is I'll go down there and I'll scroll through and find the conversations that are happening. Like, what's the question that's being asked? Find out how people are responding. And if somebody resonates with me, like who I am, and it's not about me like going in there and saying, oh, here's the right answer, or this is the way it should be, or anything like that. It's just about creating a relationship. So what I'll do is I'll find people who have the answers that resonate with me, and then I'll just say, oh my God, that's amazing, I like the way you think, or whatever. But it has to be real. It's all real. It's the way I really feel. Like, I would never just go do it to do it. But what happens is oftentimes by me doing that, the relationship starts right there. And then maybe a day later, sometimes 2 days later, I get a friend request from that person. So now that person really likes, who I am as well. So it's really cool. It's a great way to develop relationships in a non-threatening way. I never go on trying to sell to people, because that's not what it's about for me. For me, it's really about creating these relationships. And thanks, Abigail. She loves the women's group. It is absolutely amazing. It does feel like a sisterhood. And it's awesome to think that I just had this idea of having a women's group. I created it, and now it's doing really well, because the women do really get so much out of it, and the relationships that they're building. Because I think it's because the way I run the mastermind, it helps them to foster relationships, like really good, deep relationships. So it's so exciting to have my own program like that. Finally, my own thing. Woo.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And you just got to just do it. I mean, you've got the idea, and then you bring people on board, and it just grows gradually, doesn't it?
Yes. And when I first started this experiential women's group mastermind, I did it for free. And I had so many people I know, coaches, they're like, you shouldn't do it for free. They won't believe, they won't understand the value, blah, 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 all this stuff. And I heard them, but I just had to let that go, because for me, I wanted to do it for free. So I decided to do it for free for the first 6 months. So in 2018, it was free. I did that for a couple of reasons. One was because I wanted to see if they were going to be interested. 2 is I wanted them to keep coming back to experience it, to see if it was going to be something that they would want to continue to experience. And they did. And so it really, really helped by me creating a free, creating it for free. So now I'm charging now. It's $25 each session that they attend. But I also have an amazing, like a next level experiential mastermind that costs a little bit more, that the meeting that I hold monthly is actually included in that, along with all the other incredible things that they get. So, it's like I'm trying to build, like I said, I'm trying to build this community slowly with heart-centered women who all really, they want to be in this environment where they feel supported by other women, and they have that judgment-free zone. And it's doing more than what I thought it would. And it always does.
There's a magic happens, isn't there, within a group where people get to know each other and get on with each other. Ideas are sparked.
Yes.
And I've always looked at it this way, that if you're actually starting a group, the ideal thing you want to happen is people to talk to each other as well as talking to you, and spark ideas off each other and run with those ideas, and know that they can come to you to ask any questions, but they can actually create something of their own, but they've always got the support there. And I think that's very important.
And what's interesting is that at the last meeting, I was sitting there and not, I was just kind of looking around and how the women had, 2 women here, 4 women here, just in their own little groups, having their conversations, really deep conversations. And I was on the outside, like I wasn't involved in all these conversations. And I kind of looked at that and I said, this is very interesting. What I'm realizing is that I'm a facilitator of bringing people together. And I don't have to be in the conversations. I don't have to have people coming up to me. I used to think that I needed that. But I realized as I was watching that, I felt my heart was full seeing that these relationships are being fostered because I provided an environment for that to happen. And it was like a proud mom, it was
well, I've looked at it in this way, especially with doing the courses, is that you're a catalyst. Okay.
Yes.
So in other words, you enable a process to take place, and you're there at the beginning, and the same you is there at the end, but you've actually helped something happen. And it's a rare skill. So I commend you for actually being able to do that. And
thank you.
I know I'm on the outside, but I do think that's a brilliant way to actually do it, to encourage people to network together and to meet in real life and build relationships, build a bond, and take that forward. And you set everything up for a fantastic 2019. So
for sure, it's going to be amazing. I already know it because I'm going to hold a 3-day event. It'll be my first time holding a 3-day event. And it'll be, with this same premise of what I do on the 1-day event. And, so just expanding my ideas and putting myself out there and becoming who I'm here to become. I spent so many years not becoming that person because I didn't have any belief in myself. I didn't think I had any value. And now I'm seeing that I do have it. And so it's not like conceited or anything. It's that, okay, I'm seeing it now. How do I apply it? How do I actually apply who I am and create whatever space I'm supposed to be creating? And that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking that action to make it happen. It's, oh my gosh, it's such a exciting time for me and hopefully for the people I'm surrounded with.
Well, as the group grows together, and as the group grows, as the person organising it, you grow as well, and you take part in the enjoyment and spark new ideas and magical.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we've gone through a range of topics today, and we're close to time. One thing I'm going to try and do this year with the shows is to actually finish at 5 minutes to the hour.
Okay.
So if you've got a back-to-back show, you've got 5 minutes to dust yourself off and go on to the next show. Sometimes it happens. But also, it's also important when other people have got shows as well. So if you're watching the show and the show due on in 7 minutes time, then it gives you sort of those minutes to actually go and get a cup of tea or a glass of water or whatever your favorite beverage is.
Yeah. Some wine or something. I don't know for your next show.
Quite possibly a nice Merlot or
there we go.
Chardonnay or we should do a wine show. Compare notes.
It's like 9 a.m. over here.
Okay, it's a bit early in the day for a wine show.
I guess I could do it once. I could do it once, but that's it. Okay. So awesome. Yeah, so this is a really great show. And I usually, Stephen, do you want to take us off with some words of wisdom as we go off into next week?
Thank you, Lynda. To everybody who's watching the show today, brilliant. Thank you. We hope that you have gained from watching. If you've got any questions of Lynda or I, please do ask them. You're welcome to contact us during the week, anytime. And we do appreciate the fact that you've come to the show today. We wish you a happy new year.
Yes.
And look forward to seeing you in the weeks to come. If you ever want to join us on camera, then you're more than welcome to do so. But from Wiltshire in England, it's goodbye for now, and it's over to Lynda.
Okay, thank you guys so much for being here. Happy New Year. Here's to a very prosperous 2019. I feel like this year is going to be a great shift for a lot of people. Keep your positivity about you, and if there's something you want to do, make sure you live your life with no regrets. Step out there and just do it. It may be scary, but realize that you'll live through it. So just step out there and do it. And I'm actually speaking at an event next week about this very topic, breaking through your fears, overcoming your fears to live the life you want to live. So get yourself out there, live that life you want to live, and have no regrets. And we will see you next week on Bye-bye.
Bye.